Hello, test, test, test. Let's see. Just want to see if my stream is. It's okay. Why can't I see it? Jesus, chat. Okay, I think I'm live now. It says I am. Okay, so I'm just going to go through these instructions of how I wrote up these instructions of how to install MeshCentral. I have these on Google Drive share that you guys can check out. I'm just going to open this up, and I have it in Markdown because I wanted to put code to separate the command lines that you need to run. It looks like Google Drive doesn't have a Markdown editor built into it, but if you wanted to, you could just come in here and grab these instructions and put it into a Markdown editor, like free Markdown viewer or something. I tried this earlier, and paste them in there, and then it would give you a cleaner look. So we can use this Markdown live preview or whatever you like to use. What I want to do is see if I can do this. I want to bring up the SSH on one side. What is going on? Let's see, this way, like this. So we can see them both side by side, right? Okay. Now I have a clean Ubuntu 24. I've just rebuilt the OS, and I've just signed in with the new password, and I've done nothing else at all to this. That's it. So we're going to just go through these steps, and I just want to show you these are the steps that I have, and that these steps do work to install the MongoDB and the MeshCentral and connect to that. So we're going to copy and paste that, but this is going to keep flip-flopping back and forth, isn't it? Let's do it this way. Let's put this over here. Where's it going to though, isn't it? Well, let's see. Yeah, every time it's going to be annoying. For this video, I'm going to maybe just use, I have Tabora as a Markdown viewer. Maybe we'll just use this instead. Because I can just do that on a single pane window. Easier. Whatever method you like, but just get my things arranged here. Okay. So we're just going to start. We're going to literally just copy and paste these commands. I'm going to update the operating system. This is a clean OS install, so we're going to update to the latest OS. You may see a little bit different things because I'm using Hetzner as the host. Your host may look a little differently in how they do this. Another thing that I've done already, I have already created a DNS entry for, what's it called, test mesh. This is my domain name, and this is going to be the IP address that this server is. So I've already created a DNS entry with a record pointing to that. Okay, that's done. Copy and paste. It says there, press enter when prompted. Press enter. Update the package list. We're just going to keep copying and pasting these commands down. Install node. Install npm. This takes a little while, but it's not too bad. This server I'm running on is like the cheapest server that Hetzner has. It's like $5 a month, but it's still pretty fast though. Okay, I'm gonna take my. So these are two separate commands from this, something like that. So we just want to verify that we're getting your version numbers may differ a little bit, but we wanted to say that you do get a version number and not just some error message or something. This command here, the instructions I found said that you had to note this part here and use that in this command. I've never seen this changed to something different. I guess it could be that your provider that you're using may have a different location. I don't know, but since the instructions I have said to note that, then I included that in my instructions also. Okay, we're verifying that that did respond back to that same command. Okay, now we're already at installing Mongo. Okay, we're gonna copy this whole block and paste it. Okay, we're gonna create this repository file, copy this whole thing, paste it. Okay, update packages again. This actually installs the Mongo. Okay, we're going to edit this config file. Okay, we're going to look for this section here, security. You see right here it says security, and there's nothing there. So we're going to go down here to security. We're going to put down a few lines. We're going to just do this. 2 spaces. Like that. Okay. Then we're going to control X, Y, control X, Y, enter. Okay, we're going to start Mongo. We're going to see that it started. We want to see a command come back looking like this and not error message or something. It is okay that we're seeing disabled right here. That's okay to see that. We're going to fix that in just a second. Get this start with the log. Oh, sorry, Control C to get out of that. Okay. Do this. Switch to use the admin. And then we're going to copy and paste this whole block right here. Press enter after that. Type exit. I'm going to test Mongo using that admin. Sorry, I should note here. You want to replace that with whatever password that you want to assign to the admin user of MongoDB. Sorry. Train just went by. I didn't want you to hear the horns there. It's still horning. So you want to update the password here with whatever password that you want the admin user to be. You want it to be here, and you want it to be here as well. Okay. But you can, just for this test purposes, I'm just going to use what I've got here. Okay. So it should return back these version numbers here. I'm going to exit. Now we're going to start MongoDB at boot time by doing this command. I'm going to verify that Mongo is running. And if you notice here, this looks like the same as what we had earlier, but now the one that was disabled is now enabled. That means that it is set to enable to start up on reboot. Control C. The instructions said to stop it and start it again. So we're going to stop it and start it again. Just get some information. This was in the notes that I had about how to remove MeshCentral if you wanted to do that, but we don't really need to do that because it's a fresh virtual machine. So we're going to skip down to this right here. do that. Maybe I'll just get rid of that part since we're starting from start. Or maybe I'll leave it. I don't know. I guess you want to do that. Okay, we're creating an operating system user called MeshCentral. Okay, here. And we're going to get into the directory that we're going to put MeshCentral in. I'm going to install MeshCentral here. Just going to see that these node modules and package.json was installed. We need to set the MeshCentral OS user that we made to have permissions to use these. We're starting MeshCentral now to create some config files and stuff like that. Once it gets here that it's running, we can stop it. We need to give permission to the MeshCentral user to some of the files for MeshCentral. This is a tongue twister. We can now update MeshCentral. So it has the latest update. Once you see this, it's running, you can press Control-C, and we need to redo permissions for that directory for the MeshCentral user. Documentation also says if we're going to use the less than script, then we need to give it some permissions as well. So we will do that. Okay, here, note, only run one of the following two commands. Now, we're going to, since we have a DNS name, we're going to grab this here. What I'm going to do, maybe I'll pull up Notepad, and I'm just going to paste that command here, and I'm going to change it to our domain name, which is testmeshdata4.us. We're going to copy that, and we're going to paste that. Okay, we're not going to run this command because we only needed to run one of the two commands. This is supposed to create an SSL certificate, is my understanding. So it says it's running on our site. Okay, Control-C. Configure MeshCentral to use the MongoDB. So by default, MeshCentral uses a built-in database. We're going to configure it now to use the Mongo database. I think I did not copy the right command. Let's try that again. Paste. Why am I not grabbing this command here? It's doing it there. Okay, I don't know, I was doing something wrong there. Okay, I'm going to use MeshCentral user to enter in this block. Again, for the MeshCentral user, you can put in whatever password you want to use here. Just be sure that you note what password it is, because you can use that in the following command later. For now, I'm just going to use literally what I have. Okay, update the settings so to be like this. So what we're going to do is go to settings and put in backspace. All these settings. That. I'm going to, however you like to do this, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to right click paste. I'm going to fix my formatting a little bit here. Was it 1, 2? I think 3 spaces. Make it. I just want to make it look pretty like the other one. Okay. For the cert, we're going to put in our domain name. So we have testmesh.dataforge.us. Okay, up here, this is where you would put in your different password for the MeshCentral user, if you was doing that. The next step is about this Let's Encrypt section. So the email here, we're going to put our email. And we're going to put, again, our domain name. We'll set this to true. Okay. Control X, yes, enter. That was that section. For the MeshCentral directory, I need to run this command. It should start MeshCentral now using our custom MongoDB database. So it did start. That's okay. We're going to press Control C to stop it. If you want to remove the built-in default Mongo database, you can do that here. You can set MeshCentral to start automatically as a service. We're going to run this command. We're going to paste this here. Control X, Y, enter. We're going to reload the configuration of what we just saved there for that config file. We're going to start the MeshCentral service. I'm sorry, we're going to enable the service, then we're going to start the service. And then we're going to verify that the service is running. And it says it's enabled and loaded and active. Okay. Now if we pull up a browser, testmesh.dataforge.us, I'm going to ignore the SSL certificates warning. I've not figured that part out. It's supposed to get an SSL certificate, I thought, but it doesn't do that for me. That's it. Now you have MeshCentral, and the first user that you sign up here will be the admin user for MeshCentral to log into MeshCentral. But at this point, we've now have a MeshCentral server ready to go. And so I mean, literally just going down, copying and pasting all the commands that I have here work just fine. So other than this SSL certificate, I'm not sure if there's something more I need to do for that. I'll check into that, but I think that's a good start anyway. All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.